Welcome to our channel. Today, we're diving into one of the most significant and challenging periods in modern history, the Great Depression. This economic catastrophe reshaped the world and left a lasting impact on societies across the globe. From the causes to the consequences, and the key figures who influenced this era, we'll cover it all. Buckle up and let's embark on this historical journey. To understand the Great Depression, we first need to look at the economic landscape leading up to the 1930s. The 1920s were a period of significant economic growth and prosperity in many parts of the world, particularly in the United States. Known as the Roaring Twenties, this decade saw a boom in consumerism, technological advancements, and stock market speculation. The stock market was booming, with prices reaching unprecedented levels. People were investing heavily, often using borrowed money, in the hope of quick profits. However, this period of apparent prosperity was built on shaky foundations. The rapid expansion of credit, speculative investments, and uneven distribution of wealth created vulnerabilities in the economy. The stock market crash of 1929. The turning point came on October 29, 1929, a day now known as Black Tuesday. The stock market crash was the beginning of a severe economic downturn that would evolve into the Great Depression. On that fateful day, stock prices plummeted, and investors, panicked by the sudden loss of value, began selling off their shares in a frenzy. The crash wiped out billions of dollars in wealth and led to a cascade of financial failures. The immediate aftermath of the crash saw a sharp decline in consumer confidence and spending, triggering a domino effect that impacted banks, businesses, and workers across the country. The spread of the Depression. The effects of the stock market crash were not confined to the United States. The Great Depression quickly spread globally, impacting economies around the world. Countries that relied heavily on trade with the US felt the brunt of the economic downturn. In Europe, many countries were still recovering from the devastation of World War I. The economic impact of the Depression exacerbated existing problems, leading to widespread unemployment, political instability, and social unrest. In Germany, the economic turmoil contributed to the rise of extremist political movements, including the Nazi Party, which capitalized on public discontent and the economic crisis to gain power. Life during the Great Depression. The Great Depression brought profound changes to everyday life for millions of people. Unemployment soared, and families faced severe hardships as they struggled to make ends meet. Bread lines became a common sight in cities across America, where people waited for hours to receive a meal. Many individuals lost their homes, and Hoovervilles, makeshift shantytowns named derisively after President Herbert Hoover, sprang up as people sought shelter and community. The impact was not limited to the United States. In Britain, Australia, and other countries, the Depression led to widespread poverty and social distress. Governments were often slow to respond, and many people suffered from lack of basic necessities. Government responses and policy changes. As the scale of the Great Depression became evident, governments around the world were forced to respond with various measures aimed at alleviating the economic crisis. In the United States, President Franklin D. Roosevelt's New Deal was a series of programs, public works projects, and financial reforms designed to provide relief, recovery, and reform. Key initiatives included the establishment of Social Security, the introduction of unemployment insurance, and the creation of jobs through public works projects. Roosevelt's New Deal faced criticism from various quarters. Some argued that the measures were insufficient or misguided, while others believed that the government's intervention was an overreach. Nonetheless, the New Deal helped lay the groundwork for the modern welfare state and reshaped American economic policy. In Europe, responses varied. In Britain, the government implemented austerity measures and sought to balance the budget, which led to social unrest. In contrast, countries like Sweden adopted more progressive social policies, which contributed to their relatively better recovery from the Depression. The economic theories behind the Depression. Several economic theories seek to explain the causes and consequences of the Great Depression. Understanding these theories provides insight into how economists and policymakers have approached economic crises. One key theory is the monetary theory, which argues that the Depression was exacerbated by a contraction in the money supply. According to this view, the Federal Reserve's failure to prevent a drop in the money supply worsened the economic downturn. Another perspective is the Keynesian theory, developed by economist John Maynard Keynes. Keynesian economics emphasizes the role of government intervention in managing economic cycles. Keynes argued that during a downturn, increased government spending and investment could help stimulate demand and pull an economy out of recession. Additionally, the Austrian School of Economics provides a different viewpoint, suggesting that the Depression was the result of excessive credit expansion and speculative investments, which led to an unsustainable economic bubble that eventually burst. The social and cultural impact. The Great Depression had a profound impact on social and cultural life. The hardships faced by ordinary people influenced art, literature, and popular culture. In the United States, the era produced a wealth of literature and art that captured the struggles and resilience of the time. Writers like John Steinbeck, with works such as The Grapes of Wrath, and artists like Dorothea Lange, whose photographs documented the plight of migrant workers, brought the realities of the Depression into public consciousness. Film and radio also played a significant role in shaping cultural attitudes. Movies and radio programs often portrayed the struggles of everyday people and offered escapism during difficult times. Globally, the Depression influenced various cultural movements and artistic expressions. In Germany, the economic crisis contributed to the rise of propaganda and the radicalization of politics, while in other countries, artistic and intellectual responses sought to critique and make sense of the turmoil. Recovery and lessons learned. The road to recovery from the Great Depression was long and challenging. Economic conditions began to improve as the world approached World War II, which stimulated industrial production and employment. In the post-Depression era, many countries implemented reforms designed to prevent a similar crisis in the future. In the United States, the New Deal established a framework for social safety nets and regulatory oversight that continues to influence economic policy today. The Great Depression also led to significant changes in economic theory and practice. Policymakers and economists learned valuable lessons about the role of government in managing economic cycles, the importance of financial regulation, and the need for social safety nets. The Great Depression's legacy. The legacy of the Great Depression is still felt today. The economic, social, and political changes that emerged from this period have shaped modern economies and policies. The establishment of institutions like the Social Security Administration and various regulatory bodies helped create a more robust economic safety net. The principles of Keynesian economics influenced government policy during subsequent economic downturns, including the 2008 financial crisis. The Great Depression also highlighted the importance of international economic cooperation and the need for systems that can withstand global economic shocks. Recap and call to action. The Great Depression was a period of profound economic upheaval that reshaped societies around the world. From the stock market crash of 1929 to the global impact and lasting legacy, this era offers valuable lessons in economic resilience and policy. If you found this exploration of the Great Depression insightful, make sure to like this video, subscribe to your channel name, and hit the bell icon for more in-depth historical content. Share your thoughts and questions in the comments below, and let us know what topics you'd like us to cover next. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you in the next video.